Okay, we'll see. We'll see how it
Yeah.
all goes.
Yes. Yes. So shall we start?
Yeah, shall we start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are, you are muted. You are muted.
Yes, yes. Who is muted?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay.
Let's
So
Again
let's
start.
start.
Muted.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine now.
Yeah. Okay.
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 So
So
namaskar
namaskar
and
and
very good
very good
evening to
evening to
respected
respected
Chairman
Chairman,
Sarvajanic
Sarvajanic
Education
Education
Society Shri
Society, Shri
Kamleshwar
Kamleshwar
Yagnik,
Yagnik,
Office
Office
Bearers of
Bearers of
SES,
SES,
President of
President of
Man
Man
Limited Dr.
Limited
MD
Dr. MD
Kumar,
Kumar,
General
General
Secretary Man
Secretary Man
Limited
Limited
Dr.
Dr.
Akhtar
Akhtar
Parvez,
Parvez,
core
core
team
team
members of
members
Man
of Man
Limited
Limited
LDP,
LDP,
other
other
EC
EC
members of
members
Man
of Man
Limited,
Limited,
my
my
colleagues at
colleagues at
SES and
SES and
BRC,
BRC,
and dear
and dear
participants.
participants.
Very good
Very good
morning to
morning to
eminent
eminent
speaker of
speaker of
today's
today's
session
session
and a very
and a
good
very good
friend, Mr.
friend,
Jai
Mr.
Bhatt.
Jai Bhatt.
At the
At the
outset,
outset,
on
on
behalf of
behalf of
Chunilal
Chunilal
Gandhi
Gandhi
Vidya
Vidya
Bhavan of
Bhavan of
Sarvajanic
Sarvajanic
Education
Education
Society
Society
and
and
Management
Management
Libraries
Libraries
Network,
Network,
I'm
I'm
delighted to
delighted to
welcome you
welcome you
all on
all
the
on the
first day
first
of
day of
three-day
3-day
International
International
Virtual
Virtual
Library
Library and
Development
Development
Program
Program
organized
organized
jointly by
jointly by Man
Manlimited
Limited
and
and
SES.
SES. Man
Manlimited and
Limited and
SES have
SES have
organized
organized
many
many
collaborative
collaborative
events in the
events in the
past too.
past too.
It's my
It's my
proud
proud
privilege to be
privilege to be
part of
part of
SES as
SES
well
as
as
well as
Manlimited.
Man Limited.
Moving
Moving
further,
further,
it's
it's
my
my
pleasure
pleasure
to
to
welcome and
welcome and
introduce
introduce
General
General
Secretary of
Secretary of Man
Manlimited,
Limited,
Dr.
Dr.
Akhtar
Akhtar
Parvez.
Parvez.
Dr.
Dr.
Akhtar
Akhtar
Parvez is a
Parvez
very
is a very
humble
humble
person by
person by
nature and
nature and
quite
quite
popular in
popular in
Alliance
Alliance
professional
professional
community for
community
his
for his
I think we
forever.
can
forever.
skip that. I think we can
Okay.
skip
Okay,
that. Please.
okay.
So presently he is
Presently,
a
he is a
university
university
librarian with
librarian with
Maulana Azad
Maulana Azad
National Urdu
National Urdu
University,
University,
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad,
And he
and
is
he is
currently the
currently the
General
General
Secretary of
Secretary of
Man
Man
Limited.
Limited.
So with
So,
these
with
few
these
words,
few words,
now I
now I
invite
invite
Dr.
Dr.
Akhtar
Akhtar
Parvez
Parvez
to
to
brief the
brief the
August
August
studies
studies
about Man
about Man
Limited and
Limited
its
and its
activities.
activities.
Over to you,
Over to
sir.
you,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. And warm welcome to all the people there in the audience. And of course, I'm very grateful to Sarvajanic Education Society for collaborating with us, and in particular Yagnik Saab and of course Dr. Rathod. I am also very grateful to Mr. Jay as usual. And let me tell you, his presentation on fake news. In fact, he has prepared this presentation on our request. We wanted him to speak on fake news, and he has prepared a presentation for us. And hopefully, we all will benefit from this. What is disinformation? What is misinformation, etc., etc. So, just to give you a brief of Management Libraries Network, let me tell you that it was born in 1998 and formally registered in the year 2000. And we do a lot of activities like we hold conferences, we hold LDPs, then there are a lot of publications that we come out. There are a few awards that we give. So when I say about the conference, so you see almost 17 or 18 conferences have already been organized by us. And the institution where we organized include I am Ahmedabad, I am Indore, I am Kozhikode, I am Lucknow, XLRA Jamshedpur, IMT Ghaziabad, and then we have Nirma University, then we have KIT, Jaipuria Institute of Management, TAPMI. So there are a lot of other, yeah, Parul, I should not forget because Parul is Gujarat. So last conference we organized was in Parul. And as I was telling everyone in the beginning that, it was the year 2008 when we organized our first LDP at SES. And after that, also, we organized a few LDPs at SES and few other cities. So far, we have organized 13 or 14 LDPs, and the idea is basically to, reach out to those who are actually not able to, or who do not have exposure to technology and advanced, library things which are taking place. But I'm very happy that through this medium, that is, and we never thought one day we'll be organizing virtual LDP. So this is our second LDP that we are organizing, and through this, we are able to reach out to a large number of people at one go. So that is one advantage of technology. But having said that, there are limitations of technology. There, of course, maybe some people who will not be able to watch it for various reasons. But anyway, I mean, these are all part and parcels of such technological advancements. And we come out proceedings of our conferences. Apart from that, we publish a journal called Journal of Library Management, and to incentivize our library professionals, what we do is we actually give travel grant, international travel grant, to present research paper outside India. So that's one thing which we do, and we are very happy that a lot of people have taken advantage of this grant. And I must not forget to mention that Bharat Book Bureau is the one who has uh, given us a large amount of money, uh, and the interest is being used for it. The only thing is that all these benefits or all these awards, etc., they are given to Melimet members. So you should become Melimet members so that if you become eligible to these awards. So I think this is all we do, and I'm sure there is always a scope for improvement. We are every time we are improving. We are thinking how we can be of some benefit to our library professionals, especially young library professionals. And I'm very sure in the near future we'll be able to do many more things. So congratulations to Dr. Mita Rathore and SES, and especially Yagnik Saab. I'm very happy that you allowed us to do this program in collaboration of your institution. So thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Jay Bhatt, for agreeing to give this important presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
It has been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you very
Akhtar
much,
Parvez,
Dr.
for
Akhtar Parvez, for
enlightening about
enlightening about
Management
Maldives
Association.
Association and its activities.
It's my
It's my proud privilege to welcome and introduce present chairman of Sarvajanik Education
Mr.
Society,
Kamlesh
Mr.
Yagnik.
Kamlesh Yagnik.
He is
He
qualified
is
MTech
qualified
from
MTech
IIT
from IIT
Mumbai.
Mumbai.
He was the
He was the
president of
president
Southern
of Southern
Gujarat Chamber
Gujarat
of
Chamber of
Commerce and
Commerce and
Industry,
Industry,
Surat,
Surat,
in the year
in the year
2013-14.
2013-14.
He was also
He was
past
also
chairman of
past chairman
Computer
of
Society
Computer
of
Society
India
of
Surat
India
chapter
Surat
in the
chapter
year
in the year
2012-13.
2012-13.
He is
He is
executive
executive
committee
committee
member of
member of
Institute of
Institute of
Engineers
Engineers
Surat
Surat
branch.
branch.
He is
He is
also
also
trustee of
trustee
Surat
of Surat
Raktadan
Raktadan
Kendra and
Kendra
Surat
and Surat
Climate
Climate
Change
Change
Trust.
Trust.
Above
Above
all,
all,
his
his
interest in the
interest in the
literary
literary
activities like
activities like
arts and
arts and
music and
music and
drama
drama
is well
is
known
well
to the
known to the
people of
people of
Surat.
Surat.
So may I
So
now
may I
please
now please
request
request
respected Mr.
respected
Kamlesh
Mr.
Yagnik
Kamlesh
sir
Yagnik
to
sir to
address the
address the
virtual
virtual
gathering.
gathering.
Sir,
Sir, please.
Thank you, Meeta. And first of all, on behalf of Sarvajanik Education Society, I'm very much pleased to welcome all of you who are participating in today's deliberation. Sarvajanik Education Society, as we know, it is over 108-year-old organizations catering to the need of close to 35,000 students of South Gujarat in various faculties. And I'm very happy, and I just got to know from Parvez Saab is that Sarvajanik Education Society was instrumental in organizing the first LDP, and today, like in the same sequence, we are on the 14th in a row. And the subjects in these 3 days, the subjects which are amazing, and the points, which are touched upon, and especially, today, what we are going to deliberate, is something amazing, because, in today's time, especially in the time of social media, we every day, every moment, we meet someone known as a Paul Joseph Goebbels. Paul Joseph Goebbels, as we all know, was a minister of propaganda in Hitler's ministry. And today, everywhere, we find Goebbels around us. And how to come out of it, we need something, which we call in Sanskrit, there's a beautiful word, Akhtar Saab, is Vivek. So, we need, like a kind of Vivek, and very close translated meaning of Viveka in English is wisdom or a knowledge. And the person, who is going to show and will take us to very near to wisdom and knowledge is none other than a person whom we all know and respect is Jai Bhatt. So I
Oh,
compliment Jai Saab for taking time out and being with us. And I also compliment all the office bearers, of Manlibnet, including Mr. Srijit Kumar and Mr. Akhtar Hussain and Mr. Akhtar Parvez for organizing this wonderful event, having a very good success. And my compliments to everyone. And close, I'm sure, Mita has been relentlessly working for last many days organizing, talking, like ensuring that everything goes well. And Mita, everything has gone well and everything will end well. So compliments and thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
very
you
much,
very much, sir,
for such
for such
kind
kind
words.
words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kamleshwar has
Kamleshwar has
always
always
been very
been very
supporting
supporting
and
and
encouraging. Like,
encouraging. Like
we are
we are
working
working
together
together
since I
since I
think
think
12,
12,
13
13
years.
years.
We
We
started
started
working
working
together in
together in
2008
2008 while
networking of
networking of
multiple
multiple
libraries of
libraries of
Sarvajanik
Sarvajanik
Education
Education
Society.
Society.
In that,
In
from that
from that
project,
project,
we are
we are
working
working
together
together
with
with
Kamleshwar.
Kamleshwar.
So thank
So
you
thank
very
you
much,
very
sir,
much, sir,
for
for
illuminating
illuminating
about
about
the
the
tremendous
tremendous
contribution
contribution
of
of
SES
SES
in
in
the
the
field
field
of
of
education
education
for
for
the
the benefit of
people of
people of
Surat.
Surat.
Now,
Now,
may
may
I
I
like to
like to
welcome and
welcome and
introduce our
introduce our
dynamic
dynamic
president of
president of
Manlivnet,
Manlivnet,
Dr.
Dr.
M.D.
M.D.
Shri
Shri
Kumar.
Kumar.
Dr.
Dr.
M.D.
M.D.
Shri
Shri
Kumar
Kumar
is an
is an
adjunct
adjunct
professor
professor
in
in
Humanities and
Humanities and
Liberal
Liberal
Arts in
Arts and
Management.
Management.
Dr. Neeta,
Yeah.
Yeah.
will cut short the
Yes,
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 introduction.
yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, sir.
okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Thank you.
sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Under the
Under the
vibrant
vibrant
leadership of
leadership of
Dr.
Dr.
Shri
Shri
Kumar,
Kumar,
Manlivnet very
Manlivnet very
successfully
successfully
introduced and
introduced and
organized
organized
5-day
5-day
international
international
virtual
virtual
library
library and
development
development
program
program
in the
in
month
the
of
month of
May
May
2020.
2020.
So this is
So
the
this is the
second
second
IBLDP in the
IBLDP in the
series.
series.
So may I
So may
now
I
please
now please
request
request
Dr.
Dr.
Sri
Shri
Kumar to
Kumar to
introduce the
introduce the
speaker of the
speaker of the
session,
session,
Mr. Jai
Mr.
Bhatt.
Jai Bhatt.
Over to you,
Over to
Dr.
you,
Shri
Dr.
Kumar.
Shri Kumar.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dr. Neeta Rathore. Dear Dr. Jay Bhatt, dear Dr. Kamlesh Yagnik, Chairman of SES, colleagues at SES, Dr. Akhtar Parvez, General Secretary, office bearers and EC members and members of Management, dear delegates of the International Virtual LDP, dear senior colleagues and budding professionals from the library and management fraternity, and fellow students. A very good evening. And to Dr. Bhatt, Dr. Jay Bhatt, it is a very good morning. Let me welcome you all to this program, and please be safe. Please stay safe. Today is yet another auspicious day for all of us at Manlivnet as we kick off the second International Virtual Library and Development Program jointly with the SES CGA Vidya Bhavan Sudan. I take this opportunity to express Manlivnet's sincere thanks to SES students for their kind support for this program. As we all know, the whole world is at war with the coronavirus, COVID-19, and the lockdown has affected all of us so badly and severely. India too has been relentlessly fighting COVID-19, and we hope we will come out of this pandemic soon. Malvinet wish you safe life to you and during all these days. We have three interesting series of lectures in this series. So Malibnet expresses its sincere thanks to all the participants for your keen interest in the LDP. If you look at the speakers of this LDP, the LDP is being handled by world-class experts from prestigious global institutions such as Dr. Jay Bhatt from Drexel University, Dr. Maria Amande from ISCTE Lisbon University Institute, Portugal, and Professor Akpan Yagnik from Penn State University, USA. Wish you all a wonderful LDP filled with very insightful knowledge, discussions, debates, and deliberations. Today's session is by Dr. Jay Bhatt at Drexel University, as I was mentioning, on the topic evaluating information in the age of fake information and news stories. Jay Bhatt is the engineering librarian at Drexel University. As the librarian for engineering, he is responsible for building library collections in engineering subject areas, as well as outreach and teaching information and research skills to faculty and students in Drexel's College of Engineering and College of Biomedical Engineering. He creates relevant library guides for engineering areas, provides individual and small group consultations, conducts instructional sessions and workshops, and provides online research support for students in on-campus and distant learning programs. In 2017, Jay received the Engineering Librarian of the Year Award from the Engineering Division of the Special Libraries Associations. He received the Homer I. Bernhardt Distinguished Service Award from the Engineering Libraries Division of the American Society for Engineering Education in 2010. So with this, I welcome Dr. Jai. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, kindly agreeing to make this lecture for the management SCS. Thank you so much. The floor is yours.
Yeah, before Jay starts, let me just request all the participants to kindly mute their audio and disable their video.
Please,
Okay?
please.
Because otherwise Mr. Jay Bhatt will get disturbed. Thank you.
And
one more thing, like in the chat box, just put your questions. Please don't introduce yourself or don't send a greeting messages. Plus, just put your participants. Please put your
Participants are requested to follow the instructions.
yeah.
And we can see on the screen one video because it is all distracting the participants.
Yeah. So
Okay.
can we request Mr. Nahak to please disable his video? And I think Poonam
Joshi, please disable your video.
And then there is another person.
Nitin
color. Nitin, can you please disable your video? And also there is one person. Okay, so I think they will slowly. Who is this?
Choinga that's sharing something. I don't know. Please
Can you
disable your video.
disable?
Nitin,
Can you please disable your video? Nitin, yeah, you. Nitin, you have to disable your video. Poonam Joshi, please. Yeah. Yeah, please, I think. Nitin, your
Okay, can I start or?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Trying,
Okay.
everything is, going. Nitin, hold your video. Nitin.
Okay, is everybody able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, is everybody able to see my first my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yeah, we are able to see.
Okay, wonderful. So let's get started. I hear echo of my voice. Okay, great. So thank you, Dr. Srikumar, for your wonderful introduction, and Dr. Kamlesh Bhai for wonderful introduction to the topic today. So I'm going to be talking about evaluating information in the age of fake information and news stories. And this has been a wonderful inspiration for me as I'm hearing a lot of uh, uh, forwards from WhatsApp and other social media platforms, and that is actually causing a lot of problem because people are forwarding news stories and without even actually identifying the fact, right? So let's get started. Um, and part of the reason is because so much of information overload and so much of fake news and disinformation and misinformation that is happening. And I took this nice picture from this particular website that is also under this link under this first slide here. So you can actually be able to go there and click on it and see what they talk about fake news. So I tried to provide some additional websites in my presentation so you all can go to those sites and get more details. So what is happening? There's an ethical journalism network. Um, if you go to ethicaljournalismnetwork.org, there's a whole website on that. And they have identified three different types of fake information: disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. So disinformation, information that is false and deliberately created to harm a person, social group, and organization or country. Misinformation, which is false, it's not created, but it's the intention of causing harm. And malinformation, information that is bad on reality, used to inflict harm on a person, organization, or a country. So, what I suggest and what I think is every time we have an urge or uh, uh, desire to post something, we must make sure that am I posting something right or is it something false? And how do I find out? So, the next few slides, we are going to be talking about how to identify misinformation and fake news so that we don't forward and we try to be responsible citizens. We here at Drexel University has access to this database called Statista, which has insights and facts across 600 industries and more than 50 countries. And you can see that it has a number of statistical data reports available, outlooks available, tools, infographics available. There's a search box there, and I just search for fake news in India or fake news. I can find anything, right? So they published this whole report dedicated to fake news in India, right? It's 59-page report, lot of data compiled, an overall outlook has been provided on the news media and news consumption patterns in the subcontinent, along with level of trust in the media and factors influencing credibility of news organizations. And I have highlighted a couple of items from this particular report. Uh, Fake news is a serious threat. Source is Statista. It's a valid source compiled by a lot of scholars and after going through a number of sites and evaluating them. So it is a fact. It is a really great quality information. Statista provides access to more than 1 billion statistics and facts from more than 18,000 sources within the US and internationally. And 2000 survey showed that a whopping 88% of the first-time voters across India agreed that fake news was a real problem. Unverified information can reach even the most critical thinkers. Overwhelming majority of people in the country access news primarily through social media, where information rarely gets checked for validity and authenticity. Largest market for WhatsApp with more than 300 million users. Users forward more content than anywhere else in the world. As long as we are forwarding good quality information, that is okay. But when we are intentionally or unintentionally we start forwarding things without checking the authenticity, it becomes a real problem. Content gets forwarded without any checks, further driving misinformation in the social sphere. And this is the source where this report was published. As you can see, it was published in August of 2019, so not very old. And I'm sure in the last 1 year, even more and more such fake stories are shared. Another report that they have in this particular Statista database is called Fake News Worldwide. So it is not just limited to India, but it is all over the world. Fake news has been a prevalent issue of years and is often worryingly insidious in how it spreads and reaches consumers. So you might want to go through this, and essentially it is also pointing out that uh, social media remains the latest and trusted news source globally. Many consumers still get much of their news from such networks and are more susceptible to fake news and either unknowingly witnessing or sharing inaccurate content. So a lot of times we just don't think before posting something, and this could be a completely false information. And during the course of this presentation, I have actually compiled examples, stories uh, of fake news that happened in the past. This is another movement called Awaz. It is a global web movement to bring people-powered politics to decision making everywhere. And again, their major goal is to educate community and people about the dangers of fake news and misinformation. Uh, and it has this information on the page which says this information has the potential to change public opinion, amplify an issue, and even change the course of elections. And you might want to go the link that I have given above and explore some of the reports that they have provided. And I have given one example from the Spanish perspective, which is WhatsApp, social media's dark web. And there's the whole statistics and data that they've compiled, and how this messaging service is being flooded with lies and hate ahead of the Spanish elections. And they have compiled the data on this, which is available on this website. Scale of disinformation problem. And disinformation continues to impact our democracies at a massive scale. And these many estimated views of disinformation detected by the team, Awaz. So when I took a screenshot, it was almost like 2 or 3 weeks ago while I was preparing the presentation. This number should have gone up by now. Now, Business Insider magazine, it's one of the trusted magazines here, and they ran this whole story about most viewed fake news stories shared on Facebook in 2019. And this is one example. Facebook is the largest social media service on the planet with over 2 billion users, quarter the world's population. And policing Facebook is a tremendous challenge. One of the service's biggest policing issues with fake news stories, which was particularly big problem in the US. And then, despite Facebook's effort to stop the spread of fake news, the massive social media services still rifle with it. In 2019, the top 100 fake news stories on Facebook were viewed over 150 million times, enough to reach every registered voter at least once, according to was the nonprofit that did the study. So there are a lot of data such as this are compiled. And then my focus today is not just on the social political issues, but also on the educational upfront. And I think that if we start teaching and educating our children right from there in schools, we can it's on a website on Stanford University. High school students are unprepared to judge the credibility of information on the internet, according to Stanford researchers. So this is uh, Stanford University, their researchers doing a research and publishing their data. Despite mounting attention to the threat of fake news on the internet and efforts to nationwide to improve digital media literacy, high school students still have difficulty discerning fact from fiction. This is very, very important. And we are talking about high school, but before they were in elementary school before, and that base starts when even in their in second, third, or fourth standards. And as we all know that in today's world, little kids can start going on the computer, on the internet, without realizing good and the bad aspects of it. Uh, so then I wanted to take one step forward to think about today's teenagers and their impact and the impact of fake news on them. So, do twins and teens believe fake news? So, fake news stories mimic real news, challenging to distinguish between real and fake. Schools and colleges need to be proactive in teaching how to distinguish. Again, this is coming from a very new, very reliable source called commonsensemedia.org. And I strongly encourage every one of you to go to this website and start exploring the important tips that they're providing. Um, and we believe that everything on the internet is true. This is a nice little cartoon that says, "What do you mean all my facts are wrong? I copied everything straight off the internet," and that is what the general assumption today is, even among older people and even students and children who are relying on internet to do the homeworks. And simply because they can easily copy and paste without worrying about plagiarism, they post everything. And if they copy something wrong, paste something wrong, they still don't want to admit that they had copied and pasted wrong information. And few weeks ago, we did a presentation on research integrity and plagiarism, and this is sort of in continuation with this topic, but more to do with fake news, which is also plays a very important role in educating our students. And another approach, this is another cartoon.
Hello,
Hello,
Jay.
Jay.
Yes,
Jay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
actually, you're not
sharing
sharing
PPT
PPT
properly.
properly. Well, I
See
can
your
see
face,
your face, but
PPT,
PPT,
you have to
you
show
have
the
to show the
PPT.
PPTs.
PPT is it is available in the side only.
Sidebar,
Sidebar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so how do I do that? I thought I was sharing the screen.
But I can see properly. I can see the screen properly. No
No.
issue.
Hello. You can
I
paint
can see
screen.
properly. No issue.
No issue.
Yeah,
paint.
I can see PPTs properly.
Okay, but because on my screen I'm only seeing the slide, I don't even see myself, so I have
Yeah,
no
I
idea
can.
what this is
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be.
I can also see the PPTs properly. Not you.
Okay, good. Because I made sure that I was sharing the screen and I'm just sharing the PowerPoint and nothing else. How about everybody else? Are they able to see the PowerPoint or not?
In my
No,
screen, it
sir.
is taken on the
We
left
can't see the
side
PowerPoint.
middle.
Yes, we can see the PowerPoint.
You can or you cannot?
We can. We can.
We can.
We
I
can.
can't, sir. I can't.
We can.
Okay,
Okay,
everyone, please
everyone,
mute
please mute
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
mute
Yes.
yourself.
Everyone, please
Everyone,
mute
please mute
yourself.
yourself. Jay,
Please
but please
carry on.
carry on.
Okay.
Please also mute your videos, others,
All of you, please disable your video.
My video?
No,
No.
no, 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 you
Uh-huh.
should. I'm
I
talking
should continue.
to the
Okay, okay,
participants.
okay. So now I provided the general background on what is happening.
I think
So
what is
what should be
happening.
the next steps? Uh, are there any ways to identify fake stories? So the first of all, first thing we need to do is ourselves. We need to learn how to identify fake news. We need to develop awareness of existing and emerging fact check tools. And unless we know, we cannot transmit that knowledge to our students. So we as professionals and educators need to take responsibility for that before we can teach. So, and then remember that peer-to-peer knowledge is the way our today's younger generation shares information. So, if they also know about dangers of social media, how, especially if they are sharing wrong stories, um, uh, uh, with their knowledge, they can stop doing that. So, let us explore some of the web sources here. International Fact Checking Network. This is a link above. Strongly encourage you to go and explore this site and what initiatives they have taken. You will see here everything. And uh, 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 International Fact Checking Network is a unit of the Poynter Institute dedicated to bringing together fact checkers worldwide. So this is one of the greatest initiatives to promote best practices and exchanges in the field. So you can go through these details later. And their mission is to reduce the level of deception and confusion in the. This is from the US perspective, but of course, this concept can be applied everywhere. And we are going to be focusing more on the scenarios as happening in India in the next few slides later on. And they also have a lot of other fact check or sites like SciCheck. So there are a lot of science and technology based wrong claims have also been forwarded to wrong means. So, how to check science stories, all of this you can be able to find that here. One of the fake stories, fake news that was forwarded and promoted was that a COVID-19 was is not caused by bacteria. And again, this is a information, and the complete story you can be able to find that. Um, uh, so it is very important that we also read news stories with a critical eye on our thinking. Um, how this was started. The claim started spreading as a text message. Portuguese version circulating on WhatsApp was debunked by the Brazilian fact, and again another version was debunked by India Today. So again, India Today magazine also ran this story, but it has been migrated to social media platforms and Facebook and spreading in popular American conspiracy theory groups. Um, so, how do we debunk false stories? Factcheck.org is one of such organizations working with Facebook to debunk misinformation shared on social media. And there are a lot of steps are provided here, and there's a link there here. Um, there are a couple of stories here. Again, fact check examples are given. Um, uh, I'm just reading the one. Flu shot does not cause false positive results. That was a story that was being forwarded in social media in last month. Viral claim on Facebook. Erroneous tells users that you will test positive for COVID-19 if you have gotten flu shots during the past 10 years. Vaccine and infectious disease experts told us that that is false, and the Food and Drug Administration says this has not been observed in any authorized test. So please be careful while we share information about COVID 19 on the media. Um, there is another resource called trutherfiction.com. Internet users can quickly and easily get information about e-rumors, fake news, disinformation, warnings if you go to this website. Uh, one source, this was also prolifically shared sometime, actually earlier this month. You can see in this picture that Hitler is holding a Bible on the top left picture, and President Trump is holding also the Bible. So now what is happening is somehow they manipulated these pictures and then ran a story. Um, uh, 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 so again, this is a disinformation, and the whole details you can find on this website. And this is more details here. You can see it more clearly here, and you can see the hand is very similar, the same position. This story was also popularly shared, and I have seen it myself. I have received this in WhatsApp in the past, and at that time I could not even believe that this is false. Did a woman in India give birth to 11 babies at once? And you can see that there are 11 babies here. But the fact is, the photo actually shows 11 babies born to different mothers at an Indian hospital on a significant date, November 2011. And the hospital later posted more photos of babies here. And if you go to this website, then you will see the correct information. Times of India Fact Check is another important initiative that Times of India started. It is a fact-checking initiative launched by Times Internet Limited, Times of India Group Company to fight fake news and misinformation. In the digital era where misinformation is not just a result of erroneous reporting, fact-checking is critical. So my major point I'm sharing here today is before we post anything, we must try to fact-check before we forward a story. Try to, and that is why I'm sharing with all these fact-check tools. Um, so Times of India fact check has all these little stories, and this is one of the screenshots with all the fact um, stories here. One example here is the fake alert photo from California shared in the name of fire in Uttarakhand forest. Um, this man kicking tennis ball in this viral clip is not Diego, and so a lot of different stories you might want to go and explore here. So if you just type Times of India fact check, you can pull up their um, stories. And now I don't know how many of you are familiar with this Google tool that was Google has created this called Google Fact Check Explorer. So this is the website. If you just type in Google Fact Check Explorer, you will see a website, and then you can just start searching in the search box with a topic or the title of the story that you have doubts about. Just copy and paste the title, and if there are stories that shows that this is false, and you will see the proof of why it is false. Here are some examples. Um, Google Fact Check Explorer. I'm again trying to explore COVID-19. And again, this is a COVID-19 is caused by bacteria, exacerbated by 5G technology, and can be cured using painkillers and antibiotics. And then the rating is false. It is not caused by bacteria and cured by antibiotics. And there are many other claims and other false stories we can find here. There are more here. Uh, Viral post claims that the government is giving 5,000 rupees as relief funds as a limited time offer. Again, this is false, and you will have to go and explore this because there's a lot of stories, details about how Boom came up with this false, and you'll see the details. WhatsApp message promising free 5,000 rupees in relief funds from the government as a limited time offer is fake. Boom found that the message redirects one to questionable website with many red flags, which is in no way is associated with the government. Boom also found the same message and similar website is viral on Kenyan social media, offering this claimed lockdown benefits in Kenyan shillings instead of Indian rupees. So people can manipulate all these stories, and it can promote so much false propaganda all over the world. Another example, Dr. What is the claim by social media here? Dr. Devi Shetty and ICMR has advised a list of over 22 precautionary steps against COVID-19. ICMR is the Indian Council of Medical Research, and then as they found the evidence, they are putting all that information here. The Apex Body's website does not have any such advisory. No such announcement was made by the government body yet. In the video, Dr. Shetty speaks about preventive measures against COVID-19, but he does not mention any of the points listed in the viral forward. And again, the story, and Dr. Devi Shetty is very famous, and on his name, a lot of viral points were being forwarded, which is not good. Um, one one of the things that after the lockdown we saw that a lot of PDFs of the newspapers started being forwarded on the WhatsApp, and one of the Twitter users said that it is illegal to share PDFs of electronic newspapers on WhatsApp. I personally also have received a lot of such newspapers on WhatsApp. And first of all, you see in one email, one WhatsApp forward, you have 100, 10, 20, 50 newspapers. My question is anyone able to read all 20, 30 page paper on their phone? I really doubt. I simply go to the web search and search for news. That is the quickest way and best way to learn, read news. But anyway, uh, 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 but this is turned out to be half true. India Today is rating is half true. It's not completely false. It is half true. Uh, the answer, if you go to this link, if you just search for this, you will see more details. It says the answer as to whether forwarding PDFs of e-papers is illegal is now clear. If a media house gives free PDFs of e-paper, then circulating them is not illegal. So you can still circulate those e-papers. But if someone makes a copy of the e-paper or a portion of it in PDF and it circulates it on WhatsApp, then it will be considered illegal. So this is how you have to um, go through and evaluate each of those stories and learn from it. Um, Another story that came out, again, I use Google Fact Check Explorer. Claim by WhatsApp message says Honda is giving 300 active scooters for Diwali. This was in October 2019. Boom rating was fake. Honda giving Activas for Diwali. Don't get taken for a ride. And you will see details about it. This is only this one paragraph. There's a whole maybe 5, 6, 7 page of discussion on this topic here, but I'm just highlighted a few things here. Boom contacted spokesperson of Honda who declined to provide a comment. This is the latest in a line of supposed giveaways being made by top brands. Only recently, Boom has debunked fake promises of free gifts by chocolate maker Cadbury and Amazon that were circulating in a similar manner on WhatsApp. Another picture. This was circulated many times recently. It only happens when there is a eclipse that is happening. There's a fake claim of two suns and the hunter's moon phenomena seen in the sky revived. You actually see the two suns here, and people thought there are two suns, but that's not correct. There's a scientific story. It is scientific phenomena. It is misleading claim that the moon appeared to resemble the sun in an optical illusion. And there's a fact check and there's a detail here. And there's a link here again from News 18, popular news in India. It's also saying that it is a false story. The post is fake, even though not photoshopped. The photograph shows an illusion of two suns in the sky caused by the presence of ice crystal in the atmosphere, which happens below temperatures of 30 degrees centigrade. The sun gets reflected by the ice crystals, which act like a mirror, and that's how you see, you appears to see, it's like an illusion that you are seeing two suns. And that story has been forwarded so many times. I have received it myself many times. And what bothers to me is that as soon as this story was posted, I see uh, beautiful pictures. It's fantastic, beautiful, all those kind of supportive messages coming back to the original poster. And again, people without thinking, they just read it, don't critically evaluate or think. And we need to teach our students, our children, how to think critically before believing something that is not true. Uh, Another fact-checking site for India, which is Alt News. And if you go to India Alt News, you just type in Google, you will see the website, and there are a number of different categories: politics, news, science, society, education, religion, and different stories are evaluated and identified, which are fake stories. This was another recently posted as of 12th June, so quite recent. Photos from 2002 of cow and leopard in Gujarat revived as a recent incident in Assam. So photographs of a leopard and cow are viral on social media, especially on Facebook. Entrepreneur Siddharth Pal tweeted a screenshot of the images shared by a Facebook user, and then Alt News did an evaluation of this and found out something totally different. Um, a keyword search on Google led us to an article on website onforest.com where the same images of a higher resolution are available. Article claims that the strange incident took place in Antoli village in Vadodara district in Gujarat 2002. So this picture, I'm sure many of you have seen it. It actually happened in Gujarat in 2002. So journalist Shyam Parekh had covered the incident in 2002 of the Times of India's. The story does not match social media claims. Viral messages allege the cow used to nurse the leopard when it was young, which is why it came to meet her. However, the Times of India quoted conservator of forest Vadodara H.S. Singh saying sometimes animal behavior can get modified in this case, probably because the leopard which has passed the sub-adult stage lives in rural area and not strictly a wild environment. So the picture is true, but it happened in 2002, but it was claimed that it happened in um, Assam. And then this was a post, somebody posted it on Facebook and it get forwarded, it got posted on WhatsApp. Um, if only, and then story, if only some humans could learn from this. Of course, human need to learn from this. It is but natural, but not from a fake, not a false story. This took place in Assam. Again, remember, it happened in Vadodara in 2002. And after 18 years, this was posted again. This took place in Assam and bought a cow from the neighboring village. And they even went on to make a story that they bought a cow from the neighbor village, brought it home, and they are making up all the story. There's no truth or evidence to it. So this is we need to be very very careful in what we see and what we should believe. And Google fact checker really helps you to identify those fake claims. Another more detailed or news this story. Keyword search onforest.com is the website where the real picture and actual where that happened and not in Assam. Antoli village in Vadodara in Gujarat, 2002. Exactly the same picture that was posted as being done, incidents being happening in Assam. Okay. Um, this is another same stranger than fiction, leopard and motherly cow. Um, you might want to go and explore this article. Again more details about happening in Gujarat. This and more details. First photo record with video recorded by Manoj Thakur, a naturalist from the range forest officer Rohit Vyas, honorary wildlife warden Manoj Thakur, and so on. And another example here is something called vishwasnews.com. That is another initiative in India that is identifying fake stories that are being promoted there. Uh, so you can also explore there. Again, they have coronavirus, politics, society, dunya, viral, health, swasthya, top news. All different topics are explored and identifying what is fake. I think we all need to take a personal responsibility to share what is true stories. So what do we do? This is something my next uh, uh, important topic that I want to highlight. We, being educators, being social reformers, we need to take personal responsibility to help them become responsible citizens, our students. How should they become use and refer to authentic information? We need to educate ourselves to impart right information. We need to inspire. We need to have a lively interactions and games. Public libraries in India, Narmad Library in Surat, or many other libraries across India can create initiatives and have collaborative, interactive sessions with parents, adults, children, and younger students. We need to have experts panels to show them, highlight them, educate them. In fact, public libraries can collaborate with schools and hold joint events there. We need to encourage We need to think about information literacy to fight against fake news, awareness of consequences. Libraries partner with educators in schools and colleges, create events and library guides, explore sources to help detect fake information. So we can do so many different things. In fact, teaching and identify fake news can be um, a one of the uh, class session even in schools, and teachers should have requirements in their homeworks that they only going to accept a source which is reliable, and students will need to provide evidence that this is a right source and it is not fake information. Um, at Drexel University, we had this webinar sometime back, information literacy in libraries in the age of fake news, and the whole webinar explored uh, questions like what is fake news, how it is related to library services, and what roles can libraries play in the fight against fake news. I think we have a tremendous responsibility here to provide and educate our students. If you just do a Google search, I just typing teaching detecting fake news webinars. You are going to pull up a lot of such webinars that have already happened. You will see that in 2020 guide to teach students how to reach and avoid fake news, disinformation, misinformation, um, uh, EdTech show. In fact, this particular image that I see in the start of my presentation is also from American Library Association's Office of Actual Freedom. Fake news on free speech is the right to be misinformed. So there are so many webinars available, and our library school students, our educators, our professionals, we can all take this webinar when at our convenience and learn from it. Um, Educational examples, common sense education, this is a category for educators, and this is a classroom teacher in Energetic High School in Long Island, US, has this um, instruction for the students. Don't get tricked by fake news. So for young children, this is the session that this particular teacher has taught and will be teaching. PBS Learning Media, News and Media, great website, public library channel, public educational channel here. They also have a Google Classroom, identify high quality site, lesson plan, the whole lesson to teach children how to identify fake news. This is a library guide at our university, Drexel University, and we have created a page on fake news. And there's a whole lots of information on this page. How do we find credentials of authorship? When we read an article, we need to think about who wrote this article, where this article is coming from, what the affiliations are, when was it published, how recent this article was. We need to think about looking at all these facts before we assume that it is authentic. And there's some schools. These are all various websites available to check, and these are some guidelines. Read past the headline, check what news outlet published, check the published date, time, who is the author. I just highlighted it before. Think before you share. Very important. Think before you share. And this is the website here. Article where this article got published in Huffington Post. And American Library Association's evaluating information page. And American Library Association has a nice interesting page on because fake news can have real world consequences. In our library here at Drexel, we believe in informal learning, engaging in conversation, interactions with students. So we taught this as part of interesting game called Two Truths and a Lie. Our students participated in a game in the adapted version of Factitious. So Factitious is a website which is an online game created to test your ability to detect tech news. Each participant will read online articles and determine if they present true or fake news. So the students played in a game in a group. So there were three in the game. There has easy, medium, and hard categories. Um, and this is the instruction that you get when you start playing game. You need to swipe right if you think the article is real, and swipe left if you think the article is fake. And so we had five teams of students competed in playing games. So once the story was presented on the screen, the team discussed among each other and evaluated the source and thought whether it is false or uh, right news. So here is an example. Active learning that is happening. Students are conversing with each other. They are looking at the source, looking at the and looking at the source and identify whether it is a authentic source or not. And this story was on the game. Alabama requires birth certificate to use public bathroom, and you can see that the story also had quotes. So first look believed that this is really a true story, um, but then they looked at the source and they found out that it is from viral records, viralcodes.com, which actually is a satire site. And the use of the loaded words like incense should tip you off that this is not a neutral news article. Not also that the sources are named, but the story does not why tell you why they are quoted. Are the state officials who are the lawyers? Who are those people who posted this? So then that is a right. That was a fake news. If they selected correct, they got 40 points. That so students competed with each other in a fun way, and they learn how to identify fake news with a game called Factitious. And IFLA has a nice International Federation of Library Association has a nice infographic to spot the fake news. Consider the source, check the author, check the date, check your biases, read beyond, supporting sources available. Is it a joke? Or ask the experts. And go for ask a librarian or consult a fast fact-checking site. Um, and I'm including this because um, we have a lab at Drexel University in College of Engineering, which is called Drexel University Multimedia Forensic Lab. And these are the scientists and the students um, whose research was in the detection of fake images. And so they had published this paper um, that you could find it here. Multimedia forensics lab is making sure you will not get fooled. So final thoughts. Serious action needed globally. Data on fake news points out the critical need for information literacy. Students in school, college, people in different communities, experiments, games, and active learning and fun way we can engage with our students so that they learn at the same time they're also having fun. And of course, we need to do assessment and evaluation. And my contact information, my email, and my website. And thank you so much for inviting me to do this talk. And I hope this is going to create more awareness among all of us and result in future dialogue. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing now.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Jay. It was wonderful. You have unleashed, demystified the fake news part, and to what extent, as librarians, we can throw light to our community, our stakeholders, our patrons. Also, you have shown. So, thanks a lot for sharing your views and the wisdom. As Dr. I mean, the chairman was mentioning earlier, So wonderful. So may I request Mita to go ahead, please?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, am I
Hello, am I
audible?
audible?
Yes,
Yes.
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 Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
very much,
Mr.
Mr.
Jaibat, for
Jaibat,
the
for the
amazing
amazing
presentation
presentation
on
on the
topic of
topic of
evaluating
evaluating
information
information
in
in
the
the
age of
age of
fake
fake
information
information
and news
and news
stories.
stories.
Now, we have
Now, we have
received
received
certain
certain
questions from
questions
the
from the
participants.
participants.
So, if you
So, if you
please
Sure.
please
allow
allow
me,
me,
I'll ask
I'll ask
on their
on their
behalf.
behalf.
Sure.
Yeah.
The
The
first
first
question is
question is
from
from
Mr.
Mr.
Selva
Selva
Kumar
Kumar
Jagannathan.
Jagannathan.
He is
He is
asking,
asking,
is there
is there
any
any
statistics
statistics
available
available
regarding
regarding
information
information
generated
generated
versus
versus
fake
fake
news?
news?
Information generated. What kind of information generated he is talking about? Is it through scholarly publications? It is books? It is journal articles? Um, Fake. There are two different types of information you are talking about here. So we do have statistics on fake news that through you saw in Statista. You do have statistics about number of journals articles published using databases such as Web of Science and Journal Citation Reports, Insights and Scopus and all those things. But I'm not sure what he means by information generated.
Okay.
There's one
There's
more
one more
question.
question.
What are
What
the
are the
legal
legal
things
things
associated with
associated with
misinformation
misinformation
and
and
malinformation?
malinformation?
There is a lot of information available on that topic. Um, and there are legal cases available also on the website. If you see, give you one example. In my library, few years ago, one of the professors contacted me that he is writing a book about some biomedical engineering project, and in that book, he wanted to use images um, that highlighted a particular um, experiment which is relevant to his project. And the total number of images were close to maybe 200 or 300. And these were all coming out from different publications like journals. Now, each journal publisher has its own policy in terms of how to cite an image. And there were clear guidelines that if we were and we were told that if you want to use this image in your paper, you have to pay $300 or $400 for each image to be included in order to avoid copyright violations. Um, and same thing could happen in Google, or same thing could happen in without knowing we are including an image and we are citing it, and we are actually opening ourselves for a lawsuit. And that has happened. There are a lot of cases are happening like that, and the professor decided not to use many of these images because we didn't want to pay hundreds of dollars. And why this happened, and this is a serious thought to think about. When we publish a paper, we are transferring our copyrights to the publisher. So the author gives up the copyright. All the work is done by the author and researchers, but he or she does no longer has copyright. So even if he has published a paper, and if somebody wants to use an image from that paper, the person who wants to use the image will have to contact publishers, and which they are going to charge enormous amount of money. And if not, they are going to sue. There will be a lot of legal implications for that. So images are very important, and whenever I see all these images being posted on our social media platforms in which there's no credit given to anybody, I feel really scared. I hope nothing can happen there, but there are a lot of legal issues involved.
Right. There's one more question by Dr. Akhtar Parvez. Like all across the world, including US and India, it has been seen that political parties spread fake news. So, is there any report which suggests the percentage of fake news shared by political parties?
I think we will have to do a statistical research on that kind of data, and we in our libraries we have created a website, a library guide which has all those data sets available. So we need to, and if there is such data available, it would definitely be available through Statista or Statistical Abstract of the United States or many other data sites. If you just simply search in our discovery platform, like Summon or EBSCO's discovery platform, it can pull up, point to the articles, whether it is published in a book or in a journal. I'm sure there should be something there.
Okay.
Okay, there is one more question by Parvez, Dr. Parvez only.
Like
Like it has been seen that
once
once
a
a
fake
fake
news
news
becomes
becomes
viral,
viral,
the
the
originator
originator
deletes
deletes
such
such
news
news
from
from his or
her
her
account.
account.
So can
So
we
can we
still
still
identify who
identify
was
who
the
was the
originator?
originator?
In fact, there is an initiative I remember some time back I read where all those stories have been being archived, as if of course they have to be published on the website first. But I know that those images are probably came from some other website, I guess. And if we are able to access that, then we can be able to uh, uh, pinpoint. But if somebody has deleted it, then I don't know how we can catch them.
Yeah,
It is
because it
very
is very
important,
important.
like
Like
who is the
who is the
originator of
originator of this
fake news.
fake
Right,
news? No?
right. Exactly. So if they have been deleted, um, there would be some kind of intrusion detection or some kind of a software or machine learning algorithms that could be used. We can I can connect with my professor here who is doing research on that aspects on cyber detection using high tech machine learning algorithms. And it's kind of a detective work in a way.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, of
yes, of
course.
course.
Okay, there is
Okay, there
one
is
more
one more
question from
question from
Saira
Saira
Qureshi.
Qureshi.
Like, sir,
Like,
how
sir,
do
how
we
do we
find the
find the
authenticity
authenticity
of
of
any
any
post on
post on
WhatsApp?
WhatsApp?
Like, can we
Like, can
find
we
out
find
the
out the
source or
source or
person who
person
has
who has
generated
generated
this?
it?
Or even
Or
in
Exactly,
the
even in
on
the
the
exactly.
other
other
social
social
media?
media, like same thing.
Yes,
Mm,
and that is why the Google fact checker that came out is
mm,
the most powerful way of detecting the stories
mm,
because they are indexing a number of tools. These are fact checking tools. So if you have a doubt, um, simply go to Google fact checker, and I have found so many such stories that were fake, which I thought were not fake. And I think we need to resist our urge to forward right away a particular message. As soon as we think that this is something fishy in this message,
mm,
we should go back and fact check before we post it. I think we need to do. That is why I have curtailed my WhatsApp activities so much recently because all I was getting was all these forwarded messages. It was I was wasting so much time going through hundreds of messages for no reason. It was actually I was getting sad by looking at it. So except for some groups, which some library groups I'm there, some good friends I'm there, but um uh, and I just the uh, I'm very much I don't have any hesitation in using WhatsApp, but it becomes a problem when people don't use it properly.
Can I just add one thing, Jay?
Yes,
The first thing people should do, you see, whenever they receive any forward, I think the first assumption they should make is that it is a fake news. Probably only then they will be able to control themselves.
exactly. I, and unless if any story is shared on the WhatsApp with no link or URL to any authenticated source, I would assume that this is not true.
But
Unless,
even no, no, Mr. Jay, even without that, you see, even if there is a link, unfortunately, we have seen that some of the news agencies in the recent past
yeah,
found to be, spreading misinformation. So
yeah,
even if, including News 18, which you referred to in your talk.
and you did mention it to me. Also, send out one article in Times of India
Right.
about how they were uh, mistakenly promoting a story which was actually false. but I try to avoid the political sites or things like that
That's
here.
better.
Okay, there
Okay,
is
there
one
is
more
one more
question
question
from
from
Dr.
Dr.
Babita
Babita
Gaur.
Gaur.
Like Truecaller
Truecaller
app,
app,
is there
is
any
there
app
any
or
app or
something so
something
that
so
we
that
don't
we
get
don't get
fake
fake
news,
news
or we can
or we can
avoid
avoid
getting
getting
such
such
fake
fake
news on
news on
social
social
media?
media?
This is a good question, but I maybe there is an app that can identify a fake before it is allowed on WhatsApp, maybe. But I don't know if such a technology is developed yet. But
There
I
is,
think it will happen. It will happen. I think those who are devoted to the cause of true and authentic news, they probably have started working on this.
Okay, we take
one more
one more
question, this
question, this
last
last
question.
question.
It's from
It's from
Dr.
Dr.
Meenal
Meenal
O.
Oak.
Like
Like
many
many
times we
times we
found that
found
the
that the
publisher
publisher
using
using
your
your
name
name
as an
as an
editor
editor
of the
of the
journal
journal
without
without
even
even
seeking your
seeking your
permission
permission
or
or
informing
informing
you.
you.
Will you
Will you
please
please
focus on
focus
that?
on that?
Very good question. And that has happened. In fact, my presentation on research integrity last time, which we did, also highlighted some of those things. And if they are supposed to take your permission, if that is not taken, they can follow through later on and go to appropriate channels and make sure that particular article is retracted, or um, they need to take permission before you do that. They have to, and this is what I think is important for our youth to know, that they simply cannot post anything, even as somebody's picture or photo, they cannot share without their permission. Um, but the thing is that you have a share option available, so they just simply click on share. Although there are provisions in the privacy channels that they can the actually block that option from being shared. But still, nobody is going to able to prevent taking a screenshot of that and then they can share, which is another problem.
I
We'll
think
take
we'll
one
take
more
one more
question, this
question,
last
just last
question.
question.
It's
It's
from
from
Mama
Mama
Shah.
Shah.
She's
She's
asking
asking like
how much
how
ever
much
you
ever you
make
make
children to
children to
sit
sit
inside
inside
at this
at this
pandemic,
pandemic.
if
If
chance
chance
comes they
comes,
run
they
out.
run out.
It's the
It's the
same thing
same
with the
thing with the
fake
fake
news.
news.
I think this problem is becoming serious and serious and serious, and I know we have to really take it very, very seriously. Um, and I know that kids, everybody has phone now, and how much restrictions are going to put. Um, Even that's the same problem with the TV, right? They keep on watching TV, uh, and sometimes we don't know what they are listening or hearing is true or it is not biased. Depending upon a stand of particular channel, those kind of news are promoted more. Uh, I know, I think it's a serious problem, and that is why all the schools, educational institutions, the libraries, they need to take it seriously. A part of the problem also is we do not encourage our children and students to go to the library or education institutions. Rather, if there's a free time, they'll go for movies or go for dinner, uh, but hardly anybody will say, okay, why not we go to the library in the evening today and explore things? Uh, so um, uh, I am not sure in India how the public libraries are being um, used. But last time I went somewhere, there were not many people in the library. Those people have not been going to the library. Everybody is on the mobile and all those things. I'm not saying that you will go to the library. I'm just saying that go once or twice, not even every day, but at least focus and learn something. And many libraries should be offering online digital content which is real, authentic, and they can read that.
True, true, very true.
So
So thank you, Mr. Bhatt, for responding to the
queries of the
queries of the
participants
participants
well.
so well.
And
And
I would
I would
request the
request
other
the other
participants, if
participants,
you
if
have
you
any
have any
questions,
questions,
you
you
can
can
ask
ask
through
through
email to
email
Mr.
to
Bhatt.
Mr. Bhatt.
Now,
Now,
I
I
would
would
request
request
Dr.
Dr.
Akhtar
Akhtar
Hussain,
Hussain,
Secretary of
Secretary of
Management,
Management,
to
to
deliver the
deliver the
formal vote
formal
of
vote of
thanks
thanks
of
of
today's
today's
session.
session.
Thank you, Dr. Meeta. Now it's time to say a formal vote of thanks. I must say, session was very much informative. On behalf of Malibnet and SES, a very special thanks to Mr. Kleber, Drexel City Libraries, USA. You know, when we requested to Mr. Javet for this session, he has really agreed to deliver the talk for the Malibnet International Virtual Reality. We, from the very bottom of our heart, express our sincere gratitude to Mr. J. Bhatt for conducting a highly effective session. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time for your busy schedule for this event. A big thank you to the participants of this session. The active participation of the delegates was very much reflected during the question and answer session. Thank you very much for your active participation and interaction. Also, a special thanks to SES technical team for coordinating the session effectively. Thanks very much to entire team of Malibnet for their shared vision and continued support. With this, we come to the end of today's session. We shall meet again tomorrow at 2 p.m. for another important and interesting presentation. We request to submit feedback on this session. Till then, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.
Sincere gratitude to Yagnik sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and it is always good to see you all on this platform. And so happy to see Kamlesh Bhai and everybody today.
Yeah,
This is
thank you, Jai Bhai.
yeah. So it's a great
Google Chrome નાખી દેજો.
feel, and you know me quite well in that sense that I
એ મારી પાસે dongle છે
believe
કાલ
in
આપણે તો LAN
promoting
પર
the good
ચલાવવાનું છે
causes
મારે
of
LAN
the society and everybody here. And in whatever way we can do that, we should take that responsibility to enhance the quality of information and teaching to our younger generation. And we should not spare any course to stop doing that. We need to take responsibility ourselves. And thank you so much. And I hope, I don't know, I could not see the PowerPoint. Was it okay later on, or it was,
Yes,
I don't
yes,
know.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yes,
we
yes,
are,
it
we
was
are
perfect.
able to keep. Don't worry, Jay.
Yes, yes, yeah, it was
Okay,
perfectly
okay,
fine. Okay.
એક ચાવી
okay.
ત્યાં છે.
Because I had,
Thank you very much.
okay. So will this be available on the YouTube video, or how is it going to work?
yeah, that
Yeah,
I
that
will
I
inform.
will inform you.
હા
Yeah,
It
it
will
will
be
be
available
available
on
on
the
the YouTube video. We have a
Okay,
recorded tape. Okay.
okay.
So
So
Thank you
thank you.
so much.
Yeah.
thank you
Thank you very
Mr.
much, Mr.
Jaibat,
Jaibat,
and all the
and all the
participants.
participants.
And
And
with
with
this,
this,
we
we
end
end
today's
today's
session,
sessions,
and
and
tomorrow's
tomorrow's
link will
link
be
will be
shared with
shared with
all of
all
you
of you
through
through
email.
email.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay,
So
great.
till
till
then,
then,
goodbye.
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 ઓકે હવે
Goodbye.
લખી દે ને
Yeah,
કરીશ
goodbye.
LAN મૂકી એનો કાઢી લો.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
હે
Bye.
Bye.
કયું બેગ
Bye. Okay. Okay. So happy to see everyone. Bye.
લઈ જવી તો લઈ જાઓ કામ પડે.
Okay. How do I?